It is weekly check-in time. It's August 14th, 2022. And what went well last week? What did not go as planned? So what went well for me last week is I got a lot of planning done. And I didn't finish my note. So let me think what else went well. My son made it to school on time, so that's good. Yeah, good first week of school. And I made some progress on like my schedule, blocking off time. Made some progress on my website. I'm doing like these private pages on my website where they're basically templates for my branding, so I can see how it looks. Highly recommend doing that. What did not go well was my sleep was really off. Just getting used to the new schedule and routine. I was really tired by the end of the day, every day last week. So what are the top 3 things that you want to give your time, energy, and attention to this week? I'm determined to get the calm conflict portion of my website up and going. I am doing some deep cleaning today and decluttering. I have a box. I have a box that's been sitting on my floor for like months that I'm like, I'm gonna fill it and take it to the thrift store, and it's like half full. So if I could get that full today and donate it this week, that would be like amazing. And then continued self-care, just, you know, like my morning routines, my evening routine, making sure I exercise every day and getting good sleep. Like 6 hours of sleep is not enough sleep, so I really have to be intentional about laying down, like being ready to lay down for sleep around 10 or 11 o'clock at night. That's so hard for me, but I can do it. I can get there. Okay, what can you do for your brain this week, and what can you do for your body this week? Like, what kind of brain-body connection would really help you? So for my brain reading, I've been really reading almost a book a day, just doing like Libby books from my library, free audiobooks or free Prime reading books, and getting really good sleep. So that's a priority. And the schedule I set for myself hopefully will give me time to rest and process and like wind down. Because I'm like, my brain is always on. So the winding down part is crucial to being able to fall asleep earlier in the evening. And then I think for my body, just really staying consistent with exercise and movement, and paying attention to my heart rate variability, my HRV, and other biometrics, other health data, seeing, you know, is my nervous system regulated? Am I getting enough sleep? Are these activities and movements and actions helping me to feel safe in my body or not? So that's important. What do you want to connect with? Who do you want to connect with this week? So I do have time scheduled for friends this week. Like tomorrow I'm driving a friend to the airport. Being intentional about, you know, texting and checking in on certain friends. who are going through big things, and just holding space for them. What are you feeling going into this week, and what can you do to manage that emotion? So I am feeling a bit overwhelmed. My work at my job has picked up significantly, which is good. I'm not complaining. I really love working with my math students. They're amazing kids, but what usually takes me 30 minutes to an hour a day to get done, like over the past few days, I've worked maybe 5 hours or 3 hours a day on, so it's the workload has increased. It's not consistent, I'm going to say. Like, the students go through courses, and then if I get a new student, or if a student finishes, like, the tasks for those particular things take longer than my regular daily tasks. So it just so happens, like, I've had a lot of new students and a lot of students finishing all at the same time, which is why the workload has increased. So I think, just being mindful that I am going to spend some extra time on that job this week, and setting aside time each day for that is important. And then the other thing is, while building the website, and I'm going to focus on only getting like one project done, and that feels better than trying to move forward on a lot of different things at once. So I'm going to have like a singular focus of getting like the homepage, the landing page, the waitlist page, like those things up on the website, for my Calm Conflict program. And that feels more manageable and less overwhelmed. What is the busiest part of your week, the quietest part of your week, and how does that impact your planning? For me, like, today is Monday, and today and tomorrow are already slammed. They're like jam-packed full of stuff. So Wednesday, I think I need to be really intentional, and block off some time for myself. And I do have dedicated work blocks later in the week for getting my website work done that nobody can like schedule into that time. So every week, like every Sunday, I do weekly planning and check-ins as part of my like weekly routine, and part of that is a planning session in Prolific, which is a space for academics that Katie Linder runs, and it's where I get a lot of these questions from. So if you're an academic, definitely check it out. But like on my own, I kind of like copy and paste my to-do list from last week to the next week, and edit with my appointments, and then kind of, like look at it and say, oh, well, Monday and Tuesday, there's a lot of appointments, and I know I have so much time that I can like actually spend on working. So like experiment and find out what that ratio is for you, like appointments versus work versus other things in your life. Like experiment and find out what your capacity is, without burning yourself out, I think is the key part there. Like, I can work until 3 a.m. every night and be totally content with that, but it's going to take its toll on me if I do that too often. So I'm trying, to put boundaries around when I'm working, and hopefully that will help me to sleep better. And the last question is, what are ways you can build in reflection this week? So, I love reflecting. I'm obviously in my head all the time. but getting stuff out of my head helps me to process and move forward. So I do journal for that, and like on my I have Apple devices. You don't have to have Apple devices to do this. Whatever your device, you can have, like, there's note apps, you know, like free note apps or Evernote or Notion or GoodNote. Like, there's the text pad, or you could just carry like a paper journal. And I typically journal first thing in the morning, like when I meditate as part of my morning routine. And then I do, like, I have like a note for the day where I can kind of just dump my thoughts out onto it, and it's called interstitial journaling. So it's really good to do in between tasks. Like if I'm switching from one task to another task, I can check in and see how I'm feeling, what went well, what didn't. Something I am also starting to do is on my to-do list for like projects I'm working on, writing down like the next step of what needs to be done. So I was working on the branding last night, but I had to shut it down to go to sleep, and I know that I left off at a certain point, so I just like noted that, like, oh, pick back up at this point. And the other thing, well, I should probably journal as part of my evening routine too, to help me wind down. I haven't been doing that. And the other thing that's helping me to be reflective is making videos. And I wasn't quite sure if I would share this or not, but here goes. I have started potentially a new series called Random Thoughts, similar to weekly check-ins, but it's just basically me coaching myself or talking about something I thought was interesting. So if that sounds cool to you, it'll be available on YouTube under a Random Thoughts thread. Yeah. So that's also a really good way to process. And being coached, obviously, is a really good way to process and be reflective. That's it. I hope you have a great week. And I will show you the lake at, I'm at Halpatioke, so you can see. All right, take care.